Psalm 50 to 56, a psalm by Asaph. The Mighty One, God, Yahweh, speaks and calls the earth from sunrise to sunset. Out of Zion, the perfection of beauty, God shines forth. Our God comes and does not keep silent. A fire devours before him, and it is very stormy around him. He calls to the heaven above, to the earth, that he may judge his people. Gather to me my devoted ones, and those who have made a covenant with me by sacrifice. The heavens shall declare his righteousness, for God himself is judge. Selah. Hear my people, and I will speak. Israel, I will testify against you. I am God, your God. I do not rebuke you for your sacrifices. Your burnt offerings are continually before me. I have no need for a bull from your stall, nor male goats from your pens. For every animal of the forest is mine, and the livestock on 1,000 hills. I know all the birds of the mountains. The wild animals of the field are mine. If I were hungry, I would not tell you, for the world is mine, and all that is in it. Will I eat the meat of bulls, or drink the blood of goats? Offer to God the sacrifice of thanksgiving. Pay your vows to Elyon. Call on me in the day of trouble, and I will deliver you, and you will honor me. But to the wicked God says, what right do you have to declare my statutes, that you have taken my covenant on your lips, since you hate instruction and throw my words behind you? When you saw a thief, you consented with him, and have participated with adulterers. You give your mouth to evil, and your tongue frames deceit. You sit and speak against your brother. You slander your own mother's son. You have done these things, and I have kept silent, and thought that I was just like you. I will rebuke you and accuse you in front of your eyes. Now consider this, you who forget God, lest I tear you into pieces, and there be no one to devour. He who offers the sacrifice of thanksgiving glorifies me, and to him who orders his way aright, I will show the salvation of God. For the chief musician, a psalm by David, when Nathan the prophet came to him after he had gone into Bathsheba. Have mercy on me, O God, according to your loving kindness, according to the multitude of your tender mercies. Blot out my transgressions. Wash me thoroughly from my iniquity. Cleanse me from my sin. For I know my transgressions, my sin is constantly before me. Against you and you only have I sinned, and done which is evil in your sight. So you may have proved right when you speak, and justified when you judge. Behold, I was born in iniquity. My mother conceived me in sin. Behold, you desire the truth in the inward parts. You teach me wisdom in the inmost place. Purify me with hyssop, and I will be clean. Wash me, and I will be whiter than snow. Let me hear joy and gladness, that the bones which you have broken may rejoice. Hide your face from my sins, and blot out all my iniquities. Create in me a clean heart, O God. Renew a right spirit within me. Do not throw me from your presence, or take your Ruach HaKodesh from me. Restore me the joy of your salvation. Uphold me with a willing spirit. Then I will teach transgressors your ways. Sinners will be converted to you. Deliver me from the guilt of bloodshed, O God, the God of my salvation. My tongue will sing aloud of your righteousness. Adonai, on my lips, my mouth will declare your praise. For you do not delight in sacrifice, or else I would give it, or have no pleasure in burnt offering. The sacrifice of God are a broken spirit. O God, you will not despise a broken and contrite heart. Do well in your good pleasure to Zion. Build the walls of Jerusalem, that you will delight in the sacrifices of righteousness, in the burnt offerings, and in whole burnt offerings. Then they will offer bulls on your altar. For the chief musician, Michelle by David, when Doeg, the Edomite, came and told Saul, David has come to Ahimelech's house. Why do you boast of evil, O mighty man? God's faithfulness never ceases. Your tongue plots destruction like a sharp razor, working deceitfully. You love evil more than good, lying rather than speaking the truth. Selah. You love all devouring words, you deceitful tongue. God will likewise destroy you forever. He will take you up and pluck you out of your tent, and root you out of the land of the living. Selah. The righteous also will see it and fear, and laugh at him, saying, Behold, this is the man who did not make God his strength, but trusted in the abundance of his riches, and strengthened himself in his wickedness. But as for me, I am like a green olive tree in the house of God. I trust in the faithfulness of God forever and ever. I will give you thanks forever, because you have done it. I will hope in your name, for it is good, in the presence of your devoted ones. For the chief musician, to the tune of Mahalath Mishal by David. The fool has said in his heart, There is no God. They are corrupt and have done abominable iniquity. There is no one who does good. God looks down from heaven on the sons of men to see if there are any who understand, who seek after God. Every one of them has fallen away. They have become corrupt together. There is no one who does good, not even one. Have the workers of iniquity no knowledge, who eat up my people as they eat bread, and do not call on God? There they were in great fear, where no fear was. For God has scattered the bones of him who encamps against you. You have put them to shame, because God has rejected them. Oh, that the salvation of Israel would come out of Zion. When God brings back his people from captivity, then Jacob shall rejoice, and Israel shall be glad. For the chief musician on stringed instruments, a Michal by David, when the Zephite came and said to Saul, Is not David hiding himself amongst us? Save me, God, by your name. Vindicate me in your might. Hear my prayer, God. Listen to the words of my mouth. For strangers have risen up against me. Violent men have sought after my soul. They have not set God before them. Selah. Behold, God, my helper, Adonai, is the one who sustains my soul. He will repay evil to my enemies, destroy them in your faithfulness. With a freewill offering I will sacrifice to you. I will give thanks to your name, Yahweh, for it is good. For he has delivered me out of all trouble. My eye has seen triumph over my enemies. For the chief musician on stringed instruments, a Michal by David. Give ear to my prayer, O God. Do not hide yourself from my supplication. Attend to me and answer me. I am relentless in my complaint and moan, because of the voice of my enemy, because of the oppression of the wicked. For they bring suffering on me, and in anger they hold a grudge against me. My heart is severely pained within me. The terrors of death have fallen on me. Fearfulness and trembling have come on me. Horror has overwhelmed me. I said, Oh, that I had wings like a dove. Then I would fly away and be at rest. Behold, then I would wander far off and would lodge in the wilderness. Selah. I would hurry to shelter from the stormy wind and tempest. Confuse them, Adonai, divide their tongues. For I have seen violence and strife in the city. Day and night they prowl around in its walls. Malice and abuse are also within her. Destructive forces are within her. Threats and lies do not depart from her streets. For it was not an enemy who insulted me, then I could have endured it. Neither was it he who hated me, who raised himself up against me, then I would have hidden myself from him. But it was you, like a man like me, my companion and my familiar friend, who took sweet fellowship together. We walked in the house of God enthroned. Let death come suddenly on them. Let them go down alive to Sheol, for wickedness is among them in their dwelling. As for me, I will call on God. Yahweh will save me. Evening, morning, and noon I will cry out in distress, and he will hear my voice. He has redeemed my soul in shalom from the battle that was against me. Although there are many who oppose me, God, who is enthroned forever, will hear and answer them. Selah. They never change who do not fear God. He raises his hands against his friends. He has violated his covenant. His mouth was smooth as butter, but his heart was war. His words were softer than oil, yet they were drawn swords. Cast your burden on Yahweh, and he will sustain you. He will never allow the righteous to be moved, but you, God, will bring them down into the pit of destruction. Bloodthirsty and deceitful men shall live out half their days, but I will trust in you. For the chief musician, to the tune of Silent Dove in Distant Lands, a miktam by David, when the Philistines seized him in Gath. Be merciful to me, God, for man wants to swallow me up. All day long he attacks and oppresses me. My enemies want to swallow me all day long, and they are many who fight proudly against me. For when I am afraid, I will put my trust in you. In God I praise his word. In God I put my trust. I will not be afraid. What can flesh do to me? All day long they twist my words. All their thoughts are against me for evil. They conspire and lurk, watching my steps. They are eager to take my life. Shall they escape by iniquity? In anger cast down the people's God? You count my wanderings. You put my tears into your container. Are they not in your book? Then my enemies shall turn in the day that I call. I know this, that God is for me. In God I will praise his word. In Yahweh I will praise his word. I have put my trust in God. I will not be afraid. What can man do to me? Your vows are on me, God. I will give thank offerings to you. For you have delivered my soul from death and prevented my feet from falling, that I may walk before God in the light of the living.